everybody, my name is Puppetine from the Geeky Puppet Show, here to review Stargirl, Season 3, Episode 2. And joining me, as always, is Froggy, and we are going to review this episode for you, recap it as well. But we want to ask you to like and subscribe beforehand, and, well, let's go ahead and dive on in, shall we, Froggy?
Yes, let's go knee deep.
Well, I mean, where we left off last episode, a man's dead.
Yes, he gambled, and it didn't pay off.
That's right. That's right. I think Kenny Rogers had something to say about that. But this episode pretty much starts with, well, Courtney and the gang trying to figure out, well, could it be what we saw? Because where we left off, Gambler was dead on the ground, his body mauled, and his trailer trashed. But dead as a doornail. That is right. But we got to see.
Yes, we do learn though that the gambler, that he wasn't shot as we thought maybe he was.
Yeah, because there was a gunshot, but it was just because what's her name, Cindy?
She misfired by accident. Then she accidentally shot, but there was no bullet holes. They found out there actually was puncture wounds, according to the autopsy.
Yes. Which with the hinted footage that we saw last week.
Which brings my point is that the new Wildcat, Yolanda, wow, she just needs to be like, wake up call. She is just so full of hatred. And it's but she's not the only one in this episode. I believe his name is Rick. Yeah, Rick is the same thing. Rick is the same way. The new Iron Man.
Yeah. No,
and then the other person we have to talk about is Starman. He's also got pent up anger. So right now, 3 individuals, superheroes, supposed to be superheroes, need a pep talk from Captain America.
Yes, because they are hateful. And so when you see this, you know that Yolanda and Rick, they despise the villains, even though many of them are working to reform. So Courtney pretty much says there was no gunshot wound. We didn't see it. It wasn't found on by the goggles. We don't know that she killed him. So right now, we are not going to treat her like some hostile suspect. And it's absolutely understandable.
But actually, so Cindy ends up showing up at the lunch table, though. Realized that they had a meeting the other night, and they didn't tell her about it. She's upset about that. Courtney basically kind of says, well, under circumstances, because you were holding a gun, but now that we know that, it wasn't the gun. And Courtney tries to make peace, says, until we find the laptop, the murderer has the laptop, and Cindy did not have the laptop in her hand.
No, she didn't. But, well, we are working with a couple elements here. And Sydney, after this, pretty much disappears for the episode, right? Because she is working in the ISA, in Justice Society of America headquarters.
Her dad's laboratory she's basically using.
Yes. She's crafting a concoction. And it turns out, and it's not real, I mean, it's spoilers, but she does have the laptop. We know that she has the laptop at the end of this episode. Nobody else knows that, but we know it. And that sends our minds erasing. But she doesn't have the password. That being said, we did get to see earlier in the episode, we flashed back 12 hours to reveal that Shade had gone back to talk to the gambler. We do know that his suitcase lock was 777. So he's not really that great with passwords, is he?
Nope.
No, he's gambling on that, definitely.
No, but do you know that the guy is paranoid, has cameras? Do you think he would have a camera inside where he's recording or outside?
Yeah. It's absolutely fair. However, I think, were those cameras his? I didn't think those cameras were
No, the
his.
cameras that were filming his place, no, they weren't his.
Yeah.
Interceptors. He just went out. Now, but I wonder though, because remember, this is a guy who is paranoid. Wouldn't you think if he would actually have his own camera set up somewhere?
I don't know. I think that perhaps they're trying to show that he's letting go. There's no real big bad out there anymore. However, now we know that there is. But what we're working with here, from there, I think we need to go ahead and talk about the shade. Because this might be my favorite scene of the episode. In the diner, he finally has his perfect cup of tea. His perfect cup. That's when Starman and Stripesy just come on in, sit across from him. They want to have a conversation because, well, they know that he is a suspect on their list.
And then we get the classic comedy trope where the two people are forced to work together, where one sits down and won't move over to let the other one sit down. I turned Pat into basically Melissa McCarthy.
Well, you see, I don't Melissa McCarthy.
No, the comedies usually there's always the obnoxious one.
I don't think Pat is obnoxious here.
No, but I'm saying in a sense where he's like, move over. I need to sit down. Okay, or actually no, Starman is the one.
Yeah, Starman, because Starman is used to taking lead, he is a little too comfortable taking the lead. And so the conversation plays out. We get to see the shade in different ways of what he was telling telling the gambler. Because Shade says, "Oh no, I went to go make amends." And Starman goes ahead and says, "No, I think you said this. I'm going to kill you." With this cheesy grin. It's hilarious.
Yeah, this show has been really good with it's staying true to the as far as the comic books, the personalities, even Artemis's parents. The mom,
weighing the camp against the drama, and it works perfectly.
The mom basically she's trying to blend in. She's been talking to Courtney's mother. She just kind of shows up and just kind of talks to her and just says like, it's like we're doing. It's like she basically wants to have her daughter Artemis on the JSA, but Courtney's mother has no say in that. She's kind of weirded out that this killer keeps talking to her. And they're starting to become friends on this episode because she's like, we're doing everything with Bonnet. We didn't kill anybody. It's like I set up for this cooking class, but they want me to bake cake, German cake. I can just go buy one. She says, well, and her mom explains to her, and this is where you kind of see that the tigress that she's never been taught the reason behind caring about people and so that.
I just want to go ahead and say that the Shades actor, I know I'm still hooked up on it. His name is Jonathan Cake.
Don't tell Zach.
Oh no, my dear children, is cannibalism.
Wait,
what?
Black Cake.
What? Oh yes, because he's the Shade. Oh no, he won't touch it.
It's conflicting for Zach. Anyway, the Shade, yeah, as we see again, later in the episode, after we see Courtney and Starman go up to his residence, and Starman goes to basically. This is right after they were doing. And Starman had pulled Courtney out of school and trained with her. They went to go apologize to the Shade. Instead, Starman attacks the Shade, and he's going to do the final blow. But then the staff goes to Courtney, flies away from him because we see that Starman's kind of losing it. He's got so much anger. I mean, of course, they go the cop-out story at the end, saying, he talks to Pat and stuff. Explains that he blames himself. He's got survivor guilt. The Shade killed his friends.
Yes.
But what's really cool though is how the way Shade exits the story in this episode. Yeah. He's talking to he pops up in the I guess the pit stop. Is that what it's called? The garage?
Pat's garage. Yeah.
Yeah, and where Rick is working on his hourglass. Is revealed to he's talking to the new Mr. Dr. Midnight, Beth, that his basically his hourglass is messed up. It's not working for a full hour. It goes an hour, 48 minutes, 17 minutes, and then 7 minutes randomly.
Mm-hmm.
So the Shade pops up, and Shade says, basically, he's got to go away, for a few things, and I forget. I think there's a key thing he said, but I do know when he did.
He said that essentially he has to deal with his own things right now. He's leaving Blue Valley.
Yeah.
Screw all you kids, except Rick. I'm sorry I was unable to help with Grundy.
Yes.
However, don't give up. That's a key thing.
But the other thing is when we show though it's really popping up now is that when the Shade goes in this little black vortex and disappears, we see even more green. And whenever we see green light like that, I think Alan Scott, the original Green Lantern, or Jade.
Maybe. I also want to go ahead and point out Marani saying the staff leaving Starman. Yes, because when they confronted the Shade and Starman was getting a little bit murdery at that point, it was very important that Courtney was there, called the staff back, and we actually get to see Starman talk to the staff later in his room saying that, no, you were right to go to Courtney. It seems that splitting the staff is having really causing some tension. However, at the end of the episode, Courtney says, this is Blue Valley. You need to find out who you are, Sylvester.
Blue Valley is home with second chances, and even everybody deserves a second chance. Basically what she says.
Yep. But as the promo shows next week, it doesn't matter. He's attacking Sportsmaster and his wife.
So there are some other things too. We also get to see more of Jakeem and Mike. And Mike's getting him into the whole mystery thing. He's like, So if we can solve the murder of the gambler, we are we'll be heroes. We'll be praised. We'll be no longer looked down upon. We'll be official members of the JSA, and stuff.
See, I wish Seth Green had just done the voice at the beginning, so we didn't have to compare him to Jim Gaffigan.
I didn't really notice.
You didn't?
No, I didn't touch much. Oh, well, regardless, I don't care. I mean, it's better to have Seth Green than to have Seth Rogen. Okay, I'm sorry. And also, I want to point out though, those two decided to meet inside the boys' room. I guess in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, Jakeem's like, I'm not sure about this. We can't really, the wish could backfire. He's like, come on, be a man. He's like, bro. And Jakeem's like, that's toxic. What's toxic masculinity? And then Mike's like, what's that? He's like, I don't know. I love that little nod. Is basically saying it's like, the people who talk about toxic masculinity, kind of a not really a put down, but basically saying how pointless it is. So those two are basically hanging out together. So they got their own little subplot, which I think is kind of cool. I'm looking forward to more of that. Also, the whole thing with fire is Tigress and Courtney's mom, hanging out together, becoming more besties. But also, we also get a reveal in the in the episode that a Sportsmaster originally was going to go and kill the gambler after he showed up. He was in his car, his grip is bad, but then he realized he shouldn't do it, because he doesn't want to go back to jail. So he puts it back down in his car and then peels away. And this ties into the first episode when the gambler ran out because he heard a tire squeal.
Yep.
So it was kind of cool to see, from a different perspective.
Every scene lining up. Yes.
Was there anything else?
No, that's it. Overall, this show is, I will still say, it's the best show on the CW. It's also one of the best comic book shows you can watch. It's truly, like we said, It has a masterful skill in balancing the camp and the drama to just the right levels. You do not feel you are watching a typical CW show. You are watching something greater. Never let anybody dissuade you otherwise. But
So,
other than that, that's
so
it.
yeah, there is two more things I want to mention. Cameron is becoming more and more. He doesn't want to become like his father, a high school, villain. He doesn't want to do that stuff. And then the other one is that. So what we know about the Gambler's Killer is that it's been, whoever destroyed his trailer was really strong, but they also had a dagger and it stabbed them. So
Yeah.
we know that Courtney's got, or not Courtney, but what's her name? Cindy's got the laptop, which I myself I missed that point. I didn't see that. So
Yeah.
props to you to paying attention to that.
Props to me for having my eyes open.
Yes, I was too busy looking for food in the refrigerator.
Well, there's none for you. But that is about it. So, we want to thank you so much for watching.
So I just want to say before we leave though,
yes.
one last question. Who do you think did it? Because
me?
obviously this the clues are somebody was watching the Gambler. The Gambler walked out, and he was killed.
So here's the thing. With puncture marks, we are sure that an animal of some kind did it. I would say Yolanda is a suspect, but I do not think that she is dealing with... I think she's dealt with the trauma of killing Brainwave. So I don't think it could be her. With that being said, maybe... No, it's going to be Tigress.
Cameron? Icicle?
I don't know why he would do it. Honestly.
Or is it his dad who's alive?
Oh, his dad alive all along? It was Icicle all along.
The other thing is we're getting here. We saw one JC member come back to life. Who's to say another one didn't come back to life?
The real Wildcat?
The real Wildcat, or maybe Jay Garrick.
Oh, Jay Garrick wouldn't kill anybody.
Well, Jay Garrick could cause a destruction, a tornado, kind of like that on the trailer.
Yes, but the puncture marks, I think that's our big clue. So I'm going to give it... I'm not sure yet. I'm not. Because the evidence is not really giving us anything to work with. We have to hope that next week we actually get a lead. But that is pretty much it. Do you have any suspects, Froggy?
I'm still going with Starman, that he's involved somehow. But I mean, as far as the killer, like I said, I think it's a JC member.
All right, then somebody else may be alive. We're going to have to wait and see. But for now, we want to thank you so much for watching. Like we said in the beginning, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Well, actually, I just said comment now. Leave your thoughts below. Who do you think killed the Gambler? Tell us. Also, check out the Ko-Fi link if you can. It helps the channel. But that's about it. So for Froggy and me, thank you so much for watching. And we will see you next time. Bye!
Have a good night or day.